I'm really nervous to film this, okay.
I need to film that again.
Why?
I'll be making funny faces.
Hi guys, today I am basically going to be filming a video all about my first year uni experience and talking about the uni and giving you guys some tips and advice. I've had quite a lot of questions on some of my other uni videos, so I thought it would be useful to film this video because I know that some people are probably deciding right now what uni to go to. So I'm going to be filming this. Also, I did dye my hair last night, so there's like dye around my face. So just ignore that. Also, I know I look so washed out, but this is what happens when you're so pale. I also do want to say that just because this is the experience I had, it's not going to be the same for everyone. Like, I don't know. I just don't want everyone to get so worried, or I don't know. Just remember that. Okay, so I wrote down a list of some things that I wanted to talk about. Also, look, my home button is literally like falling off my phone. It's a mess. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was kind of applying to unis, what I applied for, and kind of talking through that whole process, even though I feel as though everyone will have already applied, but I don't know, feels like it might be interesting. So if you haven't watched any of my older videos from like 2 years ago, you wouldn't know that I actually went to uni 2 years ago and then dropped out. So I'll talk through that a bit. So when I was in 6th year, I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I was just like, right, I'm just going to do a course that I feel as though will look good at the end of the degree. So I applied to do international business at Strathclyde. I didn't apply for Glasgow, which was very weird. I just really liked the uni and I liked the area of the uni. But when I was in 6th year, I did not apply for Glasgow, which is, I still am like, why did you not do that? If you didn't know anything about Strathclyde, it's also in Glasgow. Basically, Strathclyde's in the city centre and the University of Glasgow is in the West End. So I applied for Strathclyde, not really knowing anything about what the course was about that I was applying to. I don't know, like, I still am like, what were you doing? I went to the first like introductory meeting thing and I was like, this is not for me, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I dropped out after 45 minutes basically. And I took a gap year. I am really glad I did that, to be honest. At the time, and like even now I'm a bit like, oh, obviously everyone I know kind of are like a year ahead of me and everyone's going to be graduating a year ahead of me, but I just knew I didn't enjoy the course. I also didn't really like I didn't not like Strathclyde, but I didn't like where it was. Like I didn't like that it was in the city centre. Like I didn't find that it was as, I really don't know what I'm trying to say here. Didn't find that it was as like homey, which I know sounds really weird. I'm a lot more of an arty person. Business just wasn't something that I was really interested in. I'd never even done business at school. Like I really had no interest in business. So I dropped out. I worked for a year and I reapplied. This time I only applied to Glasgow, which was quite risky. I used all of my 5 options to apply for Glasgow. I still didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I basically applied for English by itself, I think, English with film and TV, history, zoology, which was a really random one, and then, I don't know what my last one was, it might have been history and English, or it might have been film and TV by itself, I'm not really sure. But I got into all 5 courses, and I decided to do English with film and TV. I thought that was the one I was probably most suited at. I always really enjoyed English, and then really interested in like film and TV and like the whole aspect of that. Okay, I feel as though that took a while, so I'm going to try and move a bit quicker with the other ones. So I'm going to talk about accommodations. I don't technically live that far from the uni, so I didn't need to move out, but I don't know, I just really wanted the experience of moving out. Like Danny had moved out and he had moved in with his flatmates from when he was in first year, and I was like, I want that, like I really want to move out. Like I begged my parents until they said that I could move out. So I stayed at Kelvin Hall Gate at Glasgow, which is kind of one of the nicer accommodations, I would say. Like you get your own ensuite. It's only a flat 5, which I know like Murano and Cairn Cross, you get like a lot more people in your flat. You don't have your own bathroom, but I really wanted my own bathroom and I wanted more of like a flat kind of feel. So I went to Kelvin Hall Gate. It was a really nice flat. As I said, there's 5 people in your flat and then there's a shared kitchen. There's not really any sort of like lounge area, which is the only thing I would say was a bit like rubbish with it, but I don't think you get that at any of the accommodations at Glasgow, to be honest. So obviously I was really excited to move in. I had so much stuff with me. It doesn't really matter how much you bring, to be honest. Like, no one cares how much you bring. I had so much stuff. Like, I literally had like 2 carts full of stuff, which now look back I probably bought too much, but that was all the stuff I thought I wanted. So I moved in, and that night I didn't go out or anything. That was the first day of freshers. I didn't go out. I think I went to the pub with Danny and one of his flatmates. Also, you don't have to move in the first day. Most of my flatmates moved in like later on in that weekend. It was just me and one other girl that had moved in the first night. But yeah, I just went to the pub and that was it. And the next day I went home because, like I said, I don't really live that far from the uni. And I remember going home, walking through my front door and crying to my parents and saying that I wanted to move home. Obviously they were like, "You're not moving home, like, don't be stupid."
I'm sorry, Dan.
So I'm going to talk a bit about freshers now. They have a lot of stuff during the day. I don't think I went to anything during the day, to be honest. But most of the things are like at night. I wish I had gone out a bit more during freshers, just, I don't know, just for the sake of going out, to be honest. But most people you meet at freshers, like, you're not going to stay friends with. But the first proper night I went out with 2 of my flatmates. We had a really good night. I think we just went to the Union. Then I went out another night with Danny and his flatmates, and then I don't know if I went out another night. I think I went out more than twice, but now I look back at it, like, I do kind of wish I'd gone out more, just because obviously they have all the events on, but it's not really a big deal if you don't go out during freshers. I didn't really make much of an effort socialising this year, which is one thing I really regret. I think a lot of it though is trying to like push yourself out of your comfort zone, because a lot of the year I just was like, I want to be at Danny's. I probably shouldn't have done that the whole year. I thought it was going to benefit me to move out, and it didn't, except for the fact obviously I did meet my flatmates and I do really like them, and I hope that I stay in touch with them because I got on really well with them. But obviously it's just kind of luck if you get flatmates that you get along with. Now I'm going to go on to socialising a bit because I feel like I'm kind of on that topic. I would say when you do an arts course, maybe don't expect to make a lot of friends on them. Obviously you're not in as much as you are if you do a science course, so it's kind of a lot more difficult to make friends. Also, I kind of would just like sit at the back by myself. I liked being by myself in lectures. Like, I don't know, I didn't like sitting next to people. So again, that's probably my fault. Maybe I'm just too antisocial. But one of the main things I would say about making friends is you need to join a club. I didn't this year, but I would say that was the main way to make friends. I did go to a lot of the cycling club things. I had been going to the socials the year before as well, so I already kind of knew everyone. Most clubs have like a social every week or every couple of weeks, and I definitely think that that is the like main tip I would give, is to join a society or a club. I feel as though this is going to be a really long video, so I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through everything as quick as I can, but I kind of don't really know what I'm saying. But I definitely didn't go out as much as I wanted to throughout the year, but that kind of also is because I hadn't made any friends, and obviously the only people I could go out with were like Danny and his flatmates, but they're all in 3rd year, so obviously they're not going to want to go out like a couple times a week, which is kind of what I wanted to do. But it's definitely not like a big thing if you don't go out. At Glasgow they have 2 unions. They have QMU and the GUU. In my opinion, QMU is not very good. Like, I wouldn't recommend going there. GUU is great. You've got Beer Bar, which is kind of like a pub area, and then you've got like a couple other rooms. There's like Bass Bar, the Well and stuff, but Hive's the main one, which is kind of like, my voice keeps cracking, but Hive's the main one, which is like kind of like a club situation, and they do Hive Thursdays, and that's always great fun. We would go to that almost every week, and I really recommend doing that. It's so much fun. That's one of the things I feel as though is a really good thing about Glasgow, is that they have like such a big union, so that's kind of like a main thing people do, whereas I know at like places like Strathclyde, for example, if people are going out, they go into town and they just go into like clubs, whereas at Glasgow people go to the union. So everyone there goes to Glasgow. It's kind of like a big thing in Glasgow, I don't know. Obviously you can just go into town and go to other clubs, but in my opinion, going to the union is the best choice. In terms of being homesick, I definitely had it a lot easier because like I had Danny, and also I live close to home, so I can kind of go home whenever I want. I will say though, I did go home almost every weekend for the first semester, And when I went home for Christmas, I did not want to come back. Like, I really wanted to stay home. I was dreading going back, but I feel like in second semester I didn't go home as much. But I mean, second semester was cut very short because of obviously everything that's going on. Okay, now I'm going to go on to a bit about the actual academic stuff at uni, because that's like the big thing. So obviously I did English literature and film and TV. I also took beginner's French as my elective, so I'm going to kind of talk through all of them. One thing I want to say is that I feel as though almost everyone will agree that you think everyone is doing better than you and you think everyone knows what they're talking about. Like, I would sit in lectures and like the lecturers would ask people things and everyone would be like, you know, giving definitions to all these like big terms, and I was like, how are people knowing this? Also, they do obviously not give you that much help. Like, you don't, it's not the same as high school, obviously. Like, you're very, very independent, which I actually really like that aspect a lot more. Like, I didn't like there being so much pressure on me. I would have rather just kind of done everything myself. But that is the main thing, and you'll find that at every uni, I'm pretty sure. At Glasgow, they do have office hours though, so if you do need help or you have questions, you can go to office hours from like your tutor, or I don't know if lecturers do them too, I presume they do. It was actually quite weird. Last semester I did better in film and TV, worse in English, and then this semester I did better in English and worse in film and TV. I did really enjoy both courses though. They definitely are a lot of hard work. I would say especially English. There's a lot of work you have to do yourself. Like, in second semester you have to read a book a week, and then in first semester it's like a couple poems every week. So there is definitely a lot of work, but I still enjoyed the course. Same as film and TV. It definitely was harder than I thought it would be though. I thought film and TV was going to be quite easy, and I don't know why I expected that, because no university courses are going to be easy. With French, I did not like it at all. Obviously I did beginner's French because I didn't really know any French at all, and they basically told us at the start of the year that if you didn't know anything, to select like a specific class. So I did that, and the first week I went in, the tutor was like, yeah, this is the only week I'm going to be talking to you in English. And I was like, so what? They presume you already know stuff. I also did honestly skip quite a lot of those classes because some of them would pick on people. Like my speaking class, my tutor picked on people, and it was just embarrassing. Like, she would ask me stuff and I was like, I don't know, because I haven't been taught it. Like, I don't just know it off the top of my head. Obviously, if you do want to do a language, just be prepared to put in a lot of work for it, which I didn't really do, so maybe that was just why I was so bad at it. In terms of skipping classes, if you skip lectures, nothing happens. There's no register on most lectures, but I know some of them are, but none of mine were. So it didn't matter if I skipped a lecture. Most of the notes would be put online. Obviously I still wouldn't recommend skipping lectures. You get a lot more information going to the actual lecture, because obviously they'll add on stuff that's not on the slides and stuff like that, but it doesn't technically matter if you skip them. In terms of tutorials and seminars, you can't really miss a lot of them. You get marked for it and it'll go towards your seminar grade at the end of the year, so I wouldn't recommend skipping a lot of them. To be honest, I still kind of skipped a few. Also, I think another big thing is people say is they're like, oh, first year doesn't matter, like you don't really have to do any work, which I would not agree with. First year doesn't count towards your degree in most subjects. I think some of them do. For my courses, first year doesn't count for anything, but you still need to pass it. Like, I think there's a misconception that it doesn't matter how you do. You need to pass it, and if you fail, you're going to have to reset. So don't not do any work and not put in any effort, because you still need to get a pass. In terms of the location of Glasgow, I feel like this video is literally so long, but it's in a really, really nice location. It's in the West End. You have so many like shops. They have a lot of vintage shops and charity shops in the West End. There's a lot of restaurants and cafes. There's a lot of bars. You've got Ashton Lane, which is like the main kind of bar bit, and it's really nice. Oh my god, I think I just deleted that.
No?
I just deleted my note. Yeah, that's one big thing I would say about Glasgow, which I had a couple comments of people asking what the area was like. It's really, really nice. I definitely love the area. You have a lot of transport as well. There's near my flat there was a train station, and there's a lot of subway stops around, which is super easy. I have to say I don't know anything about buses. I never took any buses this year. In terms of money, you obviously are still in the city, so it still is a bit pricier than you would find in like a small town or something like that, but it definitely, I didn't think it was that expensive. Just depends where you go. There are obviously a lot of like fancier restaurants or fancier like pubs and stuff like that where they will charge you quite a lot, but if you just kind of test out different places, you'll definitely find places that are not too expensive. Also, I didn't say anything about how much my accommodation cost. You can find all that information online, but my flat was around £600 I think a month, so definitely expensive. That's including bills and stuff like that though. All of the halls are different though. There's ones that maybe like £400 a month, I don't know, but there is a lot of information about that online though if you're looking for halls, but I would definitely recommend Kelvin Hall Gate. Overall, I obviously didn't have the best year, and it kind of felt as though to me that like everyone was enjoying it except me. I'm just hoping that second year is going to be a lot better, but I just wanted to be kind of honest about my experience, seeing as though I'd had quite a few questions about it. I would really recommend Glasgow though as a uni if you're trying to choose if you should apply there or not. The location is really nice, the kind of social aspect and kind of feeling as though there's like some sort of community, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope I touched on everything. I feel as though it was really messy and I just kind of went off rambling a lot. If you have any more questions, I can always do another video, or if you just comment and I'll reply to everyone. Hopefully I did a good job at answering most things that people want to know though. But yeah, I will see you in my next video.